Hey everybody, this is Hack the Box Cicada. This is a fairly recent box. This is a little intro to Active Directory Windows. This is meant to be an easy box to capture for user and for root. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the guided mode and kind of follow along here. So one of the first things that you should be doing is an nmap scan to figure out what ports are open. And we can see that there's a NetBIOS SSN, right? So there's LDAP, and there's Active Directory, and there's some Samba shares, right? We can see the host name here. So let's go ahead and actually list out the shares that are on here, see if we can list them out with guest access, right? So we're going to use SMB client, and we're going to actually list out the shares on here. So if we do this, and we don't need a password. Okay, so by not providing a password, we can see that, hey, like there might be some guest access on here. We've got admin C, dev HR, right? This doesn't really help us. So we can use something called crack map exec. And what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can log in as a guest, not providing a password, and see what shares are available as guest. So if we do that, we can see, hey, we can read HR. That's pretty cool. So let's use SMB client and pass in a -n, type in the path for HR, and see if we can get on there. Okay, cool. Let's do an ls. And we've got a notice from HR. So we want to use get, right? And we want to get that file. I've already done this, so let's take a look at what is inside. At the notice to HR. We've got a dear new hire, welcome to Cicada Corp. Happy you joined our team. Here's your default password. Here's instructions to change your default password, keep it secure, reach out to help, best regards, right? Okay, so the important thing to notice here is that they provide a default password. And by saying dear new hire, I assume that this password is probably they hand out to every new hire there, and they leave it up to the new hire to change their password. This is really juicy for us because we can take this and try to find out, hey, like, are there accounts that are still using the default password? To do that, we can use crack map again. And we're going to use, instead of listing out the shares, let's actually try to do something called RID cycling, right? So we're still going to use the guest account, but we're going to pass in the flag RID brute. We're going to press enter, and we're going to see if we can find the accounts on here. So we found some, right? We found Emily, dev support, David, Michael, Sarah, John, all these people, okay? Now, you can go and try to find for each one, but that's a little redundant. Let's actually just use this command here. Yeah. So if you here's a command here that we can use. Basically, it's the same command we just executed, but it does a little it only grabs the SID type user, which is the username, and puts it into a file called users. So it's basically just cleaning it up, getting just the usernames for us. So we can go ahead and try to brute force each one. So yeah, this is what we get. Next, what we want to do is we want to try each one, right? So using this command here, using this command, and I have these written down for easy access. Basically, we're using map exec. We are using every username in our users file, provided this password continue on success, basically brute forcing to see which ones work, which ones don't. Okay, and look, we've got one hit, Michael Wrightson. Okay, so we can take this Michael Wrightson, and I will save you some time. This is not the user flag yet, and you can't use evilwinrm to log in as him. Kind of a dead end. So let's use this guy to see if he, with his privilege, to see if there's any more accounts that we can sort of. Let's actually change this, right? Instead of LDAP, because we can't log in as him, let's do just SMB. Okay, and we've got some more people here, and it looks like we can auth as David Aurelius because he's got his password here. So let's copy David Aurelius, and let's actually make a note of this, and we're gonna have his password as well. And then let's actually see what David Aurelius has access to. Let's see if he has access to any shares. Let's paste that in there. We're going to do David dot Aurelius. Okay, so he can read dev, HR, IPC. Let's check, see if we're on the, yeah, we got notice. Yep, we got notice. We got Michael. Yep, okay, we just found David Aurelius. Okay, that's the answer to that. What's the name of the PowerShell script located in dev? Okay, we're on the right track. So he has access to dev. Okay, cool. That share as dev, using David Aurelius' credentials. We're going to connect, we're going to ls. We've got a backup script.ps1. Just go ahead and use get with the file name in the quotations. And if we look at, I don't have them downloaded, the backup script, ps1. We download this, and let's see if it's in here. Let's open this up. We get a username, emily.oscars, and a password, right? So at this point, it's wanting us to say, hey, what is Emily Oscar's user password? We just found it. Submit the flag. Okay. In Emily Oscar's home directory. Now we can use something called evilwinrm, right? To connect to this, to Emily.Oscar. Okay, so let's pass in her password, which is going to be this. And then let's do Emily.Oscars. Okay, and now we're in. Okay, so if we do an ls, it's not in documents. Let's go back. Let's go to the desktop. If we ls, and there's the user.txt, so you can just go ahead and do type user.txt, and that'll give you the flag, right? So we've got the user flag now. Fairly easy, right? So now we need to get into the root flag. So if what we can do is we can actually see what net user Emily.Oscars, and we can actually see something unusual. She is a part of the backup operator's privilege. Now what this means is that that is a administrator privilege. So if we do whoami/priv, we can see that there's an SE backup privilege that's enabled, right? That's administrator. Regsave hklm \sam as sam, and then we're going to do the same thing with system. Then we're going to download SAM, and then we're going to download system. System might take a while depending on your internet connection and your system. Okay, so once the download's completed, we're going to actually exit out of this, and we're going to use something called secretsdump.py, and we're going to provide SAM as SAM and system as system. Tap on local, and there we go, right? We've got our administrator hash. So the first part you don't really need, but it's the second part that we really were. This is the NTLM hash that we're going to use to log in. Okay, so if we copy this, we can use evilwinrm, and we're going to try to log in as administrator with a hash of this. And I think that's right. Okay, so it worked, right? This is called a pass the hash attack. So let's go into desktop. If we do ls, and if we type root.txt, we've successfully captured the root flag. So there you go. That is a little bit about Active Directory, and this one was pretty fun, so hopefully this helps.